last 7 months, a lot has happened.
The last 7 months have been interesting, strange, terrifying, scary.
Right now, I feel like I'm in a place of imbalance, if so to speak.
I cannot imagine a more trying time that we've faced in higher education.
Everything changes from day to day.
My students really struggled a lot.
So at times you feel like you don't know what is going to happen when you're walking out there or when your children are walking out there. So sometimes that keeps me up at night. And of course, being able to provide for my family and take care of them, that keeps me up at night.
I'm doing well so far, but let's hope this momentum continues.
Never again will I assume that everything is going to be taken care of. Never again will I assume that we have systems in place for every person, because what COVID did show us is that in getting back to our new normal, we don't have systems in place for everybody. So it's everybody's responsibility to advocate for everybody else. And never again will I just assume that those things are being taken care of. This chapter of my life book would be entitled The New Weird Normal. It would definitely be The New Weird Normal.
I think I would actually entitle this portion of my life, Can't Stop, Won't Stop.
The unknown, the unexpected.
I would title this chapter 2020, From Chaos and Loss to Resistance Through Persistence.
Just because we're dealing with all the chaos in the world, COVID-19, my goals for life, who I want to be, my education, they're still there. They still exist. So I can't stop moving forward, and I won't stop.
What I've learned over the past several months about our faculty, our staff, and our students is our ability to be resilient.
Resilient.
The resiliency.
I could be a whole lot more adaptable than I previously thought.
I discovered that I'm ever an optimist. Discovered that, there's a lot less optimism around me.
So I discovered so much about our students and our employees during this time. And I discovered they're a lot tougher than I am.
Hopeful. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that, as a society, we learn from the things that's going on. I'm hopeful that we don't just have knee-jerk reactions, but we truly take a moment and reflect on the lessons learned. And what are they?
So many of the issues that we've dealt with in the last 7 months really fall in a racial and in socioeconomic realm.
The obligation of higher education is one that we've always had, making sure that we are addressing real issues that students face. And we cannot leave the real issues out of the classroom and off of the campus.
Equity to me means having equal opportunity regardless of where one is, one's gender, one's physical abilities, having the equal opportunities for all that are qualified. That is what equity means to me.
I personally can't even think of equity without thinking of inclusion. So equity also is a partner for including people in those fair practices.
I see community college as a definition of equity.
Higher education has such the grand opportunity to impact the greater society in ways that we simply haven't. So what do? First and foremost, we have to tell the truth.
And so when we look at things from a equity lens, we have to first understand the difference between equity and equality. And we have to know that people have started at different stages in their lives, and we have to know that zip codes matter. And we have to know that there are some people that have just been born with some advantages that have allowed them to succeed greater than some other folks because they've not had those same advantages.
We have to acknowledge that there certainly are disparities. We have to acknowledge that there are gaps in achievement. We have to acknowledge that everyone hasn't always been treated the same and perhaps still aren't. We have to acknowledge any barriers. As a matter of fact, we have to go looking for them because sometimes barriers don't pop up and say, hi, I'm a barrier to some of your students.
Let's look at the system that has been created before they even got to our doors. Let's talk about the inequities. Let's talk about the injustices. Let's talk about the mental stress of being Black in America.
Something that I have come to know is that when you have a seat at the table, if you sit there quiet, you might as well not be there. And so since I have been in this seat, I'm going to use my voice for all the things that burden my heart. And that can be issues of race, issues of equity, issues of gender equality. I would not do myself a service in terms of how I show up as a person and be authentic if I'm not using my voice at the table. And so I would challenge anyone who is at seats of power that when moments like this come and you are challenged to rise up and you face within you that sort of reticence of whether I should say something or not, don't hesitate, because people need to hear from you.
It is the chance of chances.
But it starts off with us. It starts with us becoming politicians, becoming doctors, becoming teachers, teaching our history correctly.
What is in my power to control? What can I do in my role, in my community, in my family to effectuate change? And if every person does that thing that they can control, it will have a ripple effect.
It's incumbent upon me to use these experiences that I've had and that we've all had in the last 7 months to make things better. So my role, I think, is to keep shining the light on this and either leading the charge on campus or being part of the work in the community, or finding where my voice, my influence, my resources can be the most effective in leveling the disparities.
What you do may be small, but it can be big to another person.
Perhaps I need to make sure to remind my students, hey guys, you got this, we can do this. We are all dealing with tremendous emotional strain and stress and concern, and I'm still here for you. Even though there appears to be some distance between us, I will help you find a way for us to close these gaps.
Through these last 6 or 7 months, I've also learned that we're tougher than we think we are, that we can do hard things, and that we can do them better together.
This pandemic experience has really gave me an appreciation for humanity and for humans.
I want to use the experiences that I gained over the past several months to speak on living in the moment. Taking time to recognize those small things and not taking them for granted, as far as family, friends, even your career, because you never know what tomorrow may bring.
Well, I've discovered a lot about myself in the last 7 months, and really a lot about our society, our communities, our world.
This last 7 months has allowed a lot of us to appreciate our families and to have discussions with our families and our friends.
These times, I believe, have given us the opportunity to mobilize and galvanize, to really come together and talk about some tough stuff.
The dawn of a new day gives me hope. With each coming day, with each new day, I know I'm making progress to improve myself as a person, and in terms of my academics and also my career. And I've been provided with awesome opportunities by Tennessee State University, my college. I'm very proud of it.
I want to use my experience I gained from the last 7 months to better execute my responsibilities as a student, a peer mentor, a father, and a husband in the year 2021.
So it's unfortunate, everything that we're dealing with today, but I'm still determined to make the best.
Because of the past 7 months and the events that have been occurring, I think that we have even a larger duty of responsibility to our students.
But there have been a lot of inequities in education as well. We've kept some people out because of various standards that we have put in place. We've not looked at some of our policies and procedures that need to change because we've said, well, that's just the way we do it and that's how we do things. So we can point fingers at other systems, but I think now is the time for us to look inwardly and to see what we can do to help make sure that we all rise together.
Now is the time. People are ready. Institutions are ready. The opportunities, they lie before us. Now is the time. We can't put it on the back burner. We can't say we'll just hand it off to the next generation. No, now is the time. Because if not now,
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 when?
When?